crowned his lotus feet with grace on the highest. By his grace one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the grace emanating from his lotus. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He's my Lord on earth after birth. From him ecstatic emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and the lone master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful to us. Give us the shade of the lotus feet. May your fame be spread all of the demons. With the shelter of your custodian come. Savior of the whole world, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhara Yashoda Nandana Prachujanandana Yashoda Nandana Prachujanandana Yashoda Nandana Prachujanandana Yashoda Nandana Prachujanandana Yamuna Tiravanachaari Yamuna Tiravanachaari Yamuna Tiravanachaari Yamuna Rama Charam Vishnu Prabhupada Sattva Isi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava
Jai.
Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Gopanande
Haribo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayaduraye Nashta Praeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhagavati Nashtiki. So the reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, Text 53. Kshudram charam samanasam sharanimi tvam.
Kshudram charam sumanasam sharanemi titvam.
Raktam sadhangri ganasam mashulupta karnam.
Raktam sadangrikanasam asuruptakarnam.
Agrivrikan asutripo viknayayantam.
Agre vikana sutripo viganayayantam.
Prishte mrigam mrigaya lupta kapana vinam.
Prishte mrigam mrigaya luptakavana vinam.
Kshudram charam samunasham sharani mithitva.
Shudram charam sumanasam sharanemi titva.
Raktam sadhangri ganasa mashulupta karnam.
Raktam sadangrikanasam asuruptakarnam.
Agrivrikan asutripo viknayayantam.
Agre vrikana sutripo viganayayantam.
Prishte mrigam mrigaya lupta kapana vinam.
Prishte mrigam mrigaya luptakavana vinam.
Okay, one more time. Kshudram charam sumanasam sharani mithitva.
Shudram charam sumanasam sharanemi titva.
Raktam sadhangri ganasam asulupta karnam.
Raktam sadangrikanasam asuruptakarnam.
Agrivrikan asutripo vikanayayantam.
Agre vrikana sutripo viganayayantam.
Prishte mrigam mrigaya lupta kapana vinam.
Prishte mrigam mrigaya luptakavana vinam.
Kshudram charam sumanasam sharanemi hitva.
Kshudram charam samanasam sharanemi titva.
Raktam shadangriganasam asulubdhakarnam.
Raktam sadhangrikanasam asuluptakarnam.
Agre vrikana sutripo viganayayantam.
Agrivrikan asutripo vikanayayantam.
Prishthe mrigam mrigaya lubdhakavana bhinam.
Prishte mrigam mrigaya luptakapana vinam.
Shudram charam sumanasam sharanemi titva.
Shudram charam sumanasam sharanemi titva.
Raktam shadangriganasam asuluptakanam.
Raktam
Vrikana Sudripo Vikanaya Yantam.
Agre Vrikana Sudripo Vikanaya Yantam.
Vishtemikam Mikaya Lupta Kabana Pinnam.
Prishtemikam Mikaya Lupta Kabana Pinnam. Vaishnavis.
Shudram charam sumanasam sharane mititva.
Shudram charam sumanasam sharane mititva.
Raktam shadavrigana suluptakanam.
Raktam shadam sama suruptakanam.
Agre rikana sutripo viganaya yantam.
Agre Vrikana Sutripo Vikanaya Yantam.
Prishte mrigam mrigaya lupta kabana pinnam.
Prishte Krigam Vigaya Lupta Kabana Vinam. Kshudram
Shudram
on grass.
on grass.
Charam
Charam
grazing.
grazing.
Sumanasam
Sumanasam
of a beautiful flower garden.
of a beautiful flower garden.
Sharani
Sharane
under the protection.
under the protection.
Midhitva
Kitva
being united with a woman.
being united with a woman.
Raktam
Raktam
attached.
attached.
Sat Angri
Satam
of bumblebees.
of bumblebees.
Gana
Gana
of groups.
of groups.
Samashu
Samasu
to the singing.
to the singing.
Lupta Karnam
Luptakarna
whose ear is attracted.
whose ear is attracted.
Agri
Agre
in front.
in front.
Rikan
Rikan
tigers.
tigers.
Asutripa
Asutripaha
who live at the cost of another's life.
who live at the cost of another's life.
Avignaya
Aviganaya
neglecting.
neglecting.
Yantam
Yantam
moving.
moving.
Prishte
Prishte
behind.
behind.
Mrigam
Mriga
the deer.
the deer.
Mrigaya
Mrigaya
search out.
search out.
Luptaka
Luptaka
of a hunter.
of a hunter.
Bana
Bana
by the arrows.
by the arrows.
Binam
Vinam
liable to be pierced.
liable to be pierced.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
My dear King, please search out that deer who is engaged in eating grass in a very nice flower garden along with his wife. That deer is very much attached to his business, and he is enjoying the sweet singing of the bumblebees in his garden. Just try to understand his position. He is unaware that before him is a tiger, which is accustomed to living at the cost of another's flesh. Behind the deer is a hunter who is threatening to pierce him with sharp arrows. Thus the deer's death is imminent. Purport. Here is an allegory in which the king is advised to find a deer that is always in a dangerous position. Although threatened from all sides, the deer simply eats grass in a nice flower garden, unaware of the danger all around him. All living entities, especially human beings, think themselves very happy in the midst of families, as if living in a flower garden and hearing the sweet humming of bumblebees. Everyone is centered around his wife, who is the beauty of family life. The bumblebees humming may be compared to the talk of children. The human being, just like the deer, enjoys his family without knowing that before him is the factor of time, which is represented by the tiger. The fruitive activities of a living entity simply create another dangerous position and oblige him to accept different types of bodies. For the deer to run after a mirage of water in the desert is not unusual. The deer is also very fond of sex. The conclusion is that one who lives like a deer will be killed in due course of time. Vedic literatures therefore advise that we should understand our constitutional position and take to devotional service before death comes. According to the Bhagavatam 11:9-29. Laptva sudulabam idam mahasambhavante manushyam arthadam anityam apiyatiraha turnam yateta napatet anumrityayavan nishreya yasya vishaya kalu sarvatasyat. After many births, we have attained this human form. Therefore, before death comes, we should engage ourselves in transcendental loving service of the Lord. That is the fulfillment of human life. Omagyanatimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Namo Kristam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Ramayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyanti Shatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The text one more time. My dear king, please search out that deer who is engaged in eating grass in a very nice flower garden along with his wife. That deer is very much attached to his business, and he is enjoying the sweet singing of the bumblebees in his garden. Just try to understand his position. He is unaware that before him is a tiger which is accustomed to living at the cost of another's flesh. Behind the deer is a hunter who is threatening to pierce him with sharp arrows. Thus, the deer's death is imminent. Hare Krishna. So, very interesting section of the Bhagavatam. The king Prajapati heard already the preaching of Narada Muni in the form of the story of Puranjana. So now he's getting purified by the association of Narada Muni, and his intelligence becomes sharpened. So he's kind of considering, maybe I should call my sons, the Prachetas, and maybe I should hand over the kingdom to them, and then I should leave. So Narada Muni can understand that King Prajapati is kind of going in this direction. So just to encourage him more, he tells another story. This one. It's not a full story. It's more an allegory, like a, as ein Bildnis, we would say in German, I guess, to kind of encourage him. Yes, you should do that. Call your sons, hand over your kingdom, and then you should leave. And why? Because it's time, and you should do as soon as possible. And in this text, the allegory is described, and then in the next, the meaning is given, although Prabhupada already gave the meaning in a purport. And yesterday we heard how the Jiva usually always is hesitating to take action, so that's why sadhus and gurus, they have to preach strongly to convince us that this is what we need to do. Because on our own, we always hesitate. And why do we hesitate? Because we're attached. Yes, exactly. Bhaktisiddhanta tells this story of the marriage party. You know the story? Mm-hmm. Most of you maybe know. It's a funny story. there was a big marriage party. You know, like in India, if someone got married, a huge celebration for several days usually. And then they had a lot of family members. No, it's not just like yesterday I told someone, Damodar Prasad had quite some family members came. It's nice. And I told to one devotee, you know, like, if I would invite my family members, there were two people. My mother and my brother. That's my family. Okay, my brother got married now, and he has a wife and they have children. But still, it's very, you know, it's very limited. So I'm happy about it because I don't have to bother too much about any family duties. But yeah, usually family is always expanding. It's very big, especially in India. So they have many people come from marriage. So there is a marriage party, and they have, you know, like marriage should take place at a certain time, certain place, according to the astrologer. So they had an appointment with a priest and astrologer at a certain place. So they had to. The marriage party was traveling there, and they had to cross the Ganges River, and they took a boat. And everyone entered the boat, and then, you know, can we reach our goal? You know, we have to be there in time. And I said, yes, it will take some time. It's quite a distance, but you just take a little rest, and I'll bring you there. So it's little, you know, they relax, and the boatsman is, how do you say, rowing, rudern, rowing like this, like. And then the next morning, you know, everyone is kind of waking up, and the boatsman is rowing, but they noticed, oh my God, we're still at the same place. We didn't move an inch. You know, like, what did you do? No, I was rowing the whole night. I was very, you know. And then they realized that the boat, there was a boat, but there was the anchor. You say, anchor was not lifted. You know? the foolish boatsman was rowing all night long for hours, but the anchor was not lifted. So yeah, he did his job, but he forgot an important point, to lift the anchor. And similarly, that anchor stands for the attachments. Now, we may be very enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness and perform all our duties, but if we don't get rid of the anarthas, we get stuck. You know, we don't really make progress. That's quite an interesting point, you know. Even though you're endeavoring. So then you can say, wow, I'm a serious devotee, I'm endeavoring much and doing everything. But at the same time, we have to also be introspective and really consciously, voluntarily, you know, give up anarthas, give up attachments especially. Otherwise, they will hold us back, basically. And yeah, that's the story of the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul is always hesitating to practice sincerely, because we are attached to so many things. There's another story I heard some time ago. There was an old widow lady. She was very poor, elderly lady, very poor. She was alone. So every day she used to go to the forest and collect some dry wood, and she would sell the wood on the market. That's the way she maintained herself. And she was always lamenting about her bad destiny. And she would say, why Yamaraj is not coming and just take me? You know? I'm an old woman, you know, I work very hard, and there is no meaning in my life. Just see how I'm suffering. You know? So that was her mantra. She was always saying, oh, why Yamaraj is not just coming and taking me? My life has no meaning. So then one day Yamaraj appears. And the lady says, who are you? I'm Yamaraj. Why did you came? Well, you called me every day. So here I am, ready to take you with me. And then what did the old lady say? But today I collected so much wood. And never before I got so much wood. This will get a great income today on the market. Can you come another time? So what's the moral of the story? That, you know, life after life we come again into this world, and under the Maya's influence we still think that this is a nice place here to stay. That's our problem. We still have so much attachment to this place here. And there's many stories like this, how Narada Muni and others, they will encourage someone and the person is always kind of, no, I have to still do my business in this world. And this is an interesting question we should ask ourselves, like, what would we say if Yamaraj would come? Hey, Vallabhasena, let's come. Are you ready? Yamuna says yes. Yamuna's ready. Yeah, it's an interesting question. If death would come right now, would you be ready to go?
More minute. More minute.
I just need to finish my business. So many attachments that we have, so many false upadhis, so many identification that we have, such strong illusion, and so many strong desires to enjoy in this world, and these attachments are a great stumble block on our path. That's why it's the duty of Guru and sadhus to speak very strongly, to cut through this attachments. And here in this section, Narada Muni tells this story of a deer grazing on grass, enjoying with his mate in a garden of flowers that are very aromatic. Like it's a very nice scene. You can imagine a nice forest, flowers, nice forest smell, and the deer are there grazing together with the she deer, and together they enjoy. So, and the meaning is, a man is absorbed in household life, in the company of his wife, thinking of sex life. That's the picture. And then also his ears are attracted by the songs of the swarms of bumblebees. Someone remembers what is the bumblebees?
The children.
Children. The sweet voice of the children. The Christmas time I went to my brother. As I said, small family, but still they got now children. So 4 years and 6 years old, boy and girl. And somehow this time I was the center of attraction. They all wanted to go to Uncle Prema. They have another brother, is also Christoph, so that's why they call me Uncle Prema. And then the small boy, my mother, the grandma, gave him a booklet with some animals of the ocean, like all kind of fishes and like a Bilderbuch. So he came and sat on my lap. Oh, Uncle Prema, you have to tell me now what is which animal. So then he went through the pages. I had to tell him I have to read everything and tell him. I don't know, for 20 minutes, half an hour we were sitting there and I'm telling him all the different fishes. And then the little girl, jumped to my brother and whispered in the ears, and then my brother came. Elia, can you move aside? She also wants to sit on the lap of Uncle Prema. So I was sitting there, okay. I didn't do anything, somehow they wanted. So, and of course it's very sweet, the way they look, and the material nature has arranged in such a way. Such small children, they're very sweet. Even the brahmachari heart melts and feels like, oh, they're really sweet, so cute. And then they speak broken language. It's something that touches your heart. And of course, if it's your own children, because it's not my children, so in the afternoon when I leave, then I just leave and it's forgotten. Sweet, but nothing to do with them. But if it's your own children, it's my children. These are my children. It's the attachment is very, very great, because they came from your own body. It's your own energy. Together with the wife, they came into existence. The bodies came into existence through your creative work, I can say. So the attachment is very, very strong. And here it is described as the songs of the bumblebees. Nice. But while enjoying the beauty of the wife and the sweetness of the children, the householder forgets that there's two other people there in the forest. And who are the other two people, the other two living entities?
The tiger.
A tiger and a hunter. They're also there. They're spoiling the show, or the whole fun. Because the tiger is ready to devour them, and the hunter is also already pointing at them. So the tiger is compared to time, it takes away your lifespan, and hunter is the ultimate death, ready to kill from behind. So that's the brutal reality of life. And we never know when the hunter comes, you know. Because the tiger is eating up time all the time, but when the hunter will actually, we don't know, and we just recently in our community, you know, they will all of a sudden left us. So it can happen any time. And this is very, therefore we are actually in a very dangerous position. And understanding that we are in a dangerous position, we should take to devotional service immediately with great sincerity. That's the message of this shloka. And but what do? We still have some hope to enjoy in this world, and we think Krishna consciousness. Okay, it's nice, but let me enjoy first a little bit more. And there's other allegories that are given. Like one is, like there's sometimes use a picture also. You see a man, is holding himself on a little bush, and then it goes down like a few hundred meters. It goes like an Abgrund, as in English, like a
abyss.
Abyss, yeah, you're like on a cliff, you hold yourself on a little bush, and then it goes down in an abyss for 300 meters or something. And on the top there is a tiger, so you can't really climb up because the tiger is waiting for you. And down, like you fall, you die. So and then already the Alskyer, how do you say some vultures are already waiting, because they know you may fall down and then the body will be a nice feast. So, but what do? You hang there, and then you see there is some nice berries, and when you eat the berries, you think, oh, life is so good. That's our position. That's actually our position. We take the berries and think, oh, they're so sweet. Life is so good. That's the condition of the materially conditioned soul. We are actually in a very, 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 very dangerous position. But the illusion is so big that we think, oh, I'm fine. I'm enjoying. So nice berries. Let me enjoy more. And we completely forget about the danger that is there from all sides. Yes. So therefore, a sober man should reflect about the temporary nature of this world. Durlabha manava chanma labhiya sangsare krishnena bhujinu dukkha kaibo kahare sangsara kore miche gelokala labana koiru kichu gatilo janala. And so on. This is a song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We'll read some of it. This is from Kalyana Kalpataru. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the human form of life is the rarest opportunity for attaining spiritual perfection. But now I'm lamenting because I have somehow or other been born with such an opportunity, and I wasted it by never worshipping Lord Krishna. Oh, to whom shall I tell the tale of this misery? Bhaktivinoda Thakur is questioning. To whom should I tell this sad story? That although I got a human form, but somehow I just wasted it. Having married and entered into the entanglements of materialistic family life, I passed my time in vain, I never got any tangible gain or permanent benefit, only trouble and moderation. What kind of world is this anyway? It seems to be like a magical lantern show that I saw at a carnival, wherein so many shadows and optical illusions dance magically before my eyes. It's interesting. In another translation it says, the material world is like a magical display. And of course, here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it was not the time of digital age where you have this, we put this 3D, like, go to this virtual reality world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a very innocent example, like there was a carnival and there was a latrine show, like with lights and then, give some shadow on the walls and it creates some images and it look like real, but actually it's just shadows. So it's a very innocent example. But what would Bhaktivinoda Thakur say nowadays? We have this virtual reality, which is so. But the whole material world is like such a illusionary display. I feel great attachment and identification with such a world, and thus day after day pass by fruitlessly, without any purpose whatsoever. When this body drops dead on the ground, then what will remain mine? When this body is finished, what can I claim to be mine? At that moment, all of my sons and dearest loved ones will not be able to give me any happiness. I work hard just like an ass every day, and now I'm wondering for whom I'm working so hard. I'm still surrounded by so many illusions. I waste every day in useless, insignificant work, and I waste every night controlled by sleep. And in every 24 hours, I never for 1 second consider that cruel death is sitting very close by my side. Like, cruel death is just sitting right next to me, or I don't know which side, but Yamaraj is already waiting. And for 24 hours I'm just doing so many things, but never consider that actually death can come any moment. I live a very carefree lifestyle, sometimes eating a lot or eating a little, I feel like it. Sometimes I see nice things around the town, or sometimes I do not go out at all. Sometimes I wear opulent clothing, or if I'm in the mood, I'll wear something simple. I live so carefree that I never consider that one day I will have to give up this body. My poor heart is plagued by constant anxieties about maintenance and a daily turmoil created by my body, my house, my wife, my family members, and my social obligations. It's interesting, they all create trouble. Who is creating trouble? My own body. Like, now my knees, I can again sit nicely, my back is a little better, but now my knees are hurting. And there's always something, like the body's always giving some trouble. And who else gives trouble? My house. If you have a house, the house always gives trouble. we always have to do some renovation, because the house is always giving trouble. Who else gives trouble? My wife. Wife is giving trouble. Okay, the husband also gives trouble. And the children, and the family members, and the social obligations. So they all give trouble, and then these things keep me, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, they always keep me occupied with doing so many things, and forget about the actual purpose of life. All these anxieties are piercing me and destroy all my intelligence. When my body will be thrown in a pit at the cremation grounds, it will simply lie there, motionless. Then many crows, vultures, ants and worms will come and playfully sport there. All the stray dogs and jackals will then become very much delighted, and in great ecstasy they will make a festival ground out of my body, and will have a huge celebration and feast. Just see the ultimate destination of this material body. And the most amazing thing is that all of my material opulences, house, family and friends, have exactly the same destination. very sobering. Therefore, I ask of anyone who has any sharp intelligence. Do you have sharp intelligence? We can sharpen it, can become more sharp. But anyone who has a sharp intelligence, please give up all of these temporary illusions presented by Maya and kindly search after the means to get pure devotion to Lord Krishna, for this is the only really tangible eternal truth. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying. Yes, so that's nice meditation. So, as a spiritualist, it's healthy to sometimes reflect about our temporary nature. That's what we're doing in this section of the Bhagavatam. And just yesterday, two different people asked me, two different devotees, are you still filling in the boxes? Some of you know I have this poster, 4,000 weeks. And then every week I tick the box, fill in the box, so one week less of my life. So yes, I'm still doing it. Some people may ask, why you do this? That's crazy, you know. Isn't this very depressing? You know, you always remember that death comes closer. But it's interesting because it's a reality, and many of us they push it aside. And according to some statistics, 72% of people die without writing a testament, a lost will. It's interesting. 72% of all people, they just die without having left behind a will. Have you written already testament? You will? No? Me also. Maybe I should do it. Never know. But why is it interesting? Because the fact that people don't write a lost will means that they don't think about that it could happen. You know? If they actually know it could happen, then maybe you write it down. You know? Because it's kind of an important paper to write. But because we never think about death, then we also don't think about it. So being regularly confronted with our mortality is not a morbid exercise, but rather a healthy way to face reality. And in Latin there is a term. It's called memento mori, or remember you will die. And some great theologians, philosophers, they used to put a human skull on their desk, like a skull, like and Totenkopf, is that one? And Schädel, you know, a skull on the desk, so that we always are reminded of the temporary nature. So I think poster is a bit more practical than the skull. So. Yes, so and it's interesting, the Bhagavatam makes the point that both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except of one who does what? Do you know the shloka? Like, it's described as the sun rises and sets every day. And every time when the sun rises or when the sun sets, the lifespan is reduced. And when we see a sunset, we say, "Oh, so beautiful sunset, very nice." But actually, it's a sign that our life, we come closer, one day closer to death. Our time is reduced, except for one who is doing what?
Hearing Krishna Katha.
Hearing Krishna Katha. Yes, the Ocean says, hearing Krishna Katha. Those who hear Krishna Katha, why their lifespan is not reduced? Because they are approaching closer to eternal life. By their hearing, by their absorbing in Krishna, by hearing about Krishna, by practicing devotional service, actually they make every day a step closer to eternal life. That's why they're not really influenced by the reduction of time. because they use the time in a proper way to attain eternal life. And therefore, one should actually understand that time is a very valuable asset. As we know, Janaka Pandit says that you can never pay back even a second. Or as His Holiness Krishna Maharaj so nicely puts, he says, there is no point in killing time once you realize that time is killing you. I read it again. There is no point in killing time once you realize that time is killing you. we haben den Zeitvertreib. We do many people, they're bored in life, that they do something to kill time, die Zeit totschlagen. Aber in Wirklichkeit schlägt die Zeit uns tot. That's the point. So in this way we can understand that it's healthy to sometimes reflect on the temporary nature of life, and in this way become more sincere in our spiritual practice. Okay, our time is up. Actually, there is more. I wanted to also speak about giving up sex life, attachment, and taking shelter of Shri Guru, because by taking shelter of Shri Guru, we can overcome all the anarthas. But yeah, time is short. But yeah, we will hear more the next days about this story. I'll read again the text and then we end. My dear king, please search out that deer who is engaged in eating grass in a very nice flower garden along with his wife. That deer is very much attached to his business and he is enjoying the sweet singing of the bumblebees in his garden. Just try to understand his position. He is unaware that before him is a tiger which is accustomed to living at the cost of another's flesh. Behind the deer is a hunter who is threatening to pierce him with sharp arrows. Thus the deer's death is imminent. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments or questions?
Krishna. I really like the point that when the Guru or the speaker is speaking strongly, it's his mercy, it's his kindness that he speaks like this. And we're hearing that when parents, they're like too soft with the children get spoiled, and so we see today in society what is the effect of this education. And so my question is, why today many speakers, they don't really speak strongly and just try to sometimes please the audience? And is it because we as hearers, we want to be cheated, we want to hear that is nice to us, or it's also both ways? Maybe you can elaborate on this.
Interesting question. I guess you should ask the speakers. Those speakers, you should ask why they don't speak more strongly, because I don't know why they do that. When we actually repeat the Bhagavatam, then we have to speak strongly. Bhagavatam speaks very strong language. Bhagavad Gita speaks strong language. The sadhus, acharyas speak strong language. So, and Shravanam Kirtanam means we hear and then we repeat what we heard. So when we repeat what we heard, then we also speak strong, because that's what we heard. Maybe some speakers don't repeat what they heard, but they speak something else. That sometimes happens. But if you're loyal to Parampara, then you will just repeat what you have heard. Prabhupada often would say, like, these are all rascals, mudhas. Not my words, Krishna is saying. Prabhupada would do like this. It's not my words, Krishna is saying. I'm just repeating. So yeah, that's our duty. Of course, there is a preacher in Krishna consciousness, and that's what Prabhupada also did. That's what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did. They adjust according to time, place, and circumstances. And a preacher also needs to be sensitive to understand the audience. And then, according to the audience, the preacher adjusts his preaching. But sometimes maybe the preacher is a little bit too, too careful, and he thinks he needs to adjust to an audience, when actually the audience would be appreciative of strong words also. That could be there. But maybe sometimes a preacher tries to adjust to the audience. Maybe is too overly careful, that can be there. Of course, the opposite can also take place, that someone preaches too strong. That also sometimes happens. And the other thing, if the speaker actually becomes a flatterer, just like speaking nice words to please the audience, with a motivation to be liked, then that's very bad. It's very bad. If the speaker, if the Bhagavatam speaker speaks with the intention to please the audience and to get adoration and prestige and honor from the audience, then it's very bad. That makes the speaking impure. That's the main duty of the speaker, is to have purity, or to speak pure in a sense of just repeating the message without personal motivation. The duty of the listeners is to be humble and open for the message. If you enter the room and think, what is this Krishna Prem telling? Life is temporary, and I have heard this many times. This is a boring lecture. No, if this is the mentality, as a listener, then this is wrong. As a listener, you should sit as if you hear this for the first time. And with the open mentality, let me listen something, let me understand. And also understanding that listening is a process that purifies the heart. And we can always learn something, and we can always try to deepen our understanding. Because yes, we know life is temporary, and when we become old, and we have to do Krishna, we have to practice Krishna consciousness. But how much have I realized? So we have to try to go deeper with that. So that's the duty of the listener, to be humble and open to the message. But the duty of the speaker is to be just a pipe, like a water pipe. If the pipe thinks, I am the source of water, then it's a problem. I'm just a transparent medium to give the message. That's what I've heard from my teachers, I just pass on. But if the speaker starts to, change things, or has the wrong motivation to get praised for his speaking, then he spoils the whole thing. Anyway, that's what comes to my mind when it comes to speaking. Does it?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, okay, then we'll end here. Thank you very much. So Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Bhakta ki jai. You want to see how it grows?
So we get the message. The children is a demon. Like, even you have the children is more difficult. You mean like this?
like Kali, confirm this one, but there is Kali, like very clear,
Some
so like a material, so many good things. I'm not sure, but there is
usually change.
Of course, if
they confirmed
you put Krishna in the center,
I tried to go and get the book set also usually come and swing balance. You know, was especially shaking about Nico, you remember?
Yes.
And then we were driving to Sumatra and asking me how we things and lectures and videos starting about the person.
He listened before.
Yeah, he listened and I said, oh, very nice. How did you find him? And he said, I was talking Krishna Guru or something and we found him. So especially because we're going to this journey.
Yeah. So he is inspired after this.
Yeah. He was like, he was like,
Actually, better for him because he just started. It's goes to some community or some Russia and full engage Krishna consciousness because it's when you just started you need this intensive practice of Krishna consciousness.
Absolutely.
Without it you cannot have some deep realization, and this deep realization when you get an ashram or some another ashram, it helps you to make your face very strong for a long for a long time, for a long time, for all your life, because you don't know which how your life is changed, but when you have this experience, you face and you continue Krishna consciousness in any conditions of life.
Yeah, exactly. But Yananda Tikusan told he trained so many, like over hundreds of new bhaktas, and he said it's always difficult to find the right balance between pushing someone enough that he can make Krishna experience with deep faith, or you don't push him enough and then he cannot make the experience, or you push him too much.
Yes. And besides it, he needs guidance of senior devotees. If he is staying with at home or some with junior devotees, it's not good for Krishna consciousness, because you must have nice foundation. Nice foundation according by Sambhava, good Sambhava, good practice, and after you can continue Krishna consciousness. But if you don't have it on the start of your way to Krishna, you will try and have problem in your way.
Yeah, because the foundation is not right, and many they go into it and then they don't have this foundation, and then they do their own thing. They do follow their mind.
Yes.
And so first we need to
but
surrender.
What I see from him, it's very good. He had attachment to read Srila Prabhupada's books. It's very rare for beginners devotee such so much read books of Srila Prabhupada. It's very nice.
Then you have the right understanding.
Yes.
Yeah, let's pray for him. I will try to convince him to in some to go so, but we won't try to help him. Take some foundation at home, try to become maybe some interest, and then let's hope.
But it must be his desire to be serious in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. But someone needs to tell him there is this option. Go to this ashram.
And maybe you need to tell him about Krishna consciousness. It's some good standard. What does mean good standard? Because sometimes devotees relating oh, Krishna consciousness, it's so fun, just come once Sunday, and another you do all your business, all your work, job, and it's Krishna consciousness. But when you have a good example, you every time want to live like this.
It's your life, it's not like a hobby.
Yes, it's not hobby.
Yeah. If you never see him on Sunday, you can also give him some association.
But
English.
Yeah.
It's not about the language problem. It's about the consciousness. Because I can only come every second Sunday. Yeah.
So the Sunday you're coming?
Yeah.
So we go to train?
Let's see, because normally on Sunday I come a little bit for the Sunday program, definitely. But we have to do it again.
So before Sunday program?
I will think. This verse I have to learn. Lullaby is from Laptras or from the 11th canto.
Hello? In purpose?
Yeah, I have to learn. This is such a beautiful verse.
Enthusiastic, as usual.
Yeah. When it starts about